Okay, so let's talk a little bit about the weather. North Dakota is known to have 4 seasons. It's known to have a climate where you're going to have snow, where you're going to have a white Christmas. How have you adapted to the weather, Ruby?
Okay, after 6 years or even before, for me, I think it's fine. But sometimes you get tired of it after six
Yeah.
years, I guess. But I remembered my very first year. Oh, you're so excited! I am so excited. Like December 25, 26 blizzard, and I'm like, yoo-hoo! And they're like, are you serious? I'm like, yeah, I'm so excited because this is a new experience for me.
Experience. Yes.
Yes, I worked in Middle East, so I experienced a sandstorm, and
Mhm.
now here is snowstorm. So I really drove. I bought a new phone just to take a video of my driving, but it was fun to experience. And since I have a good car, so it's really okay. So investment for in a good car, all wheel drive. And then another thing, my friends like it's so cold there,
Mhm.
but I'm like, well, you're not going outside naked.
Mhm.
Yeah,
That's true. You're
Always bundled up.
yeah.
you just need to bundle up. And what's the one thing I really learned every day or a day before you need to check the weather, watch the news,
Mm.
check the weather, so you know what to expect. And like um to allow time also to go to a certain destinations, because it might be snowy, sleeky,
Mhm.
or if it's okay. So and also how to dress or what to wear, layering up if it's chilly. Sometimes it's snowing but it's not too cold. Sometimes there is no snow. You look out the window, it's so friendly but it's so chilly, like
Mhm.
negative 20, negative, I think 50. What year was that? So it's more on um just bundle up, just dress up. Otherwise, if it's summer also, it's very hot and windy. So like me, I like to wear dresses. Uh, it's really like, if it's windy, you cannot wear dresses. You'll be holding up and yeah.
Okay. So it sounds like your first Christmas was very exciting, but over the years you've kind of adapted and got used to the weather.
Yes, and here's the thing. It is not all the same. Like when they ask you how's the weather there, I really cannot tell you guys because 2016 is really like after long years, that's the first time again they experienced such a blizzard. And
Yeah,
then
I
20
was told that too. It was
yes,
one of the worst blizzards back in 2016.
it's
Oh.
really like welcoming us, you
Oh.
know. And then a year after that, it's just okay. And then I mean 2 years after, it's not so bad. Sometimes it's just, I don't know what year was it, it's just cold, not so much snow. So it's really different.
It can be different.
Oh yeah.
And Carla, what about for you? Because you're saying you've been there also for a few years, but it looks like even if you were to move to Fargo, you're still going to stay in North Dakota. So how have you adapted to the weather?
So the weather for me here, it's like what Ate Ruby said. It's really unpredictable. Like even on a day-to-day basis. Like let's say yesterday it was like -10 or -20, and then the next day it will be positive. So it's that crazy. That it gets warmer and then suddenly so cold the next day. So it's very unpredictable. And like I think today it was snowing again for a few minutes, but this last I think this last holidays, 25th, 26th, 27th, I think we accumulated about maybe 12 inches, between 12 to 24 inches of snow for those 3 days. But the thing here is there are emergency snow roads that the government makes sure that it gets plowed right away so that all the vehicles can use that road and then get to their destinations or get home. So even if they close like the I-94 express in a day, the next day it's fully functional. Unlike when what happened with Texas, it only snowed for like a day and roads were
It's a
closed.
disaster.
Yeah, electricity was out. So I think in my 5 years here, I only experienced an outage of electricity for about 2 hours tops,
Oh,
and
wow.
that was it. Yeah, and that was way back when I was in the apartment. I think somebody tripped the lines or something like that. Yeah, but it heavily snowed the night before, and then that's what happened. Just 2 hours, and then the power was back up. So the government is really ready. The people are also ready. And then when it's spring, summer, you can already see people dressing down here. They're already wearing tank tops, shorts. And then when these people go to other states while it's still snowing there, and then they are being seen, just wearing tank tops or sleeveless. There's like, are you from North Dakota? Oh yeah,
Because your body adapts, right?
compared to North Dakota weather. I have a friend tell me North Dakota is like a continent of itself.
That's interesting. But it sounds like you adapt, right?
Oh yeah, yep.
Yes.
It was very easy to adapt. It kind of scared me one time when I was driving and the vehicle of the tires in my vehicle actually skidded. So actually, because when I stepped on the brake and then kind of like turned right away, so that's one of the causes for skidding. So just be very careful. And we suggest that you buy a vehicle that's all-wheel drive. Even if you don't have a four-wheel drive, at least it's an all-wheel drive vehicle. Yeah, and just be very careful because once ice sticks to the road, that's when it really starts to get very slidey and slick and will cause accidents. Yeah.
Did you have
Yes.
something to add, Ruby?
Yes. Just in addition to what Carla said, like the government here are really amazing, when it comes to if it's snowing, they clean it right after. Like when the
Mhm.
snow stop, they will clean it, then so the roads are all passable, and then they will pour some sand or whatever
So,
so that yeah,
yeah.
yes. So it's not that you will be afraid like to drive like it's leaky, but they are so like onto it. Another thing like 2016, if it's like yeah, the blizzard thing, so the hospital will send somebody to pick you up. Yeah, that is also the time like I heard some doctors they drove their snowmobile or ski going to work.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was, but for me, I tried to really drive, but otherwise the hospital can pick you up.
Oh, wow. Never
Yes.
experienced that.
Yeah, because
Getting picked up.
yeah, and then some nurses also stay in the hospital, if it's they cannot go home. Yeah, but they will pick up staff. I did that once. They picked me up. And then another thing, like for me,
Mhm.
I practice like in front of our apartment, there's a huge parking lot. So I practice driving like when it's winter, like snow. I tried like just to get the hang of it, like how to brake, how to turn. So yeah, after that I got used to it, and so far so good.
Okay, good. So those are really good tips, though, because those are things that an international nurse, especially when you come from a warm climate, you've never experienced before. So those
Yes.
are really good tips about the driving and getting a good car, invest in a good car.
Mhm.
But at the end of the day, it seems like, I mean, you guys are there 5 and 6 years later.
Yeah, who
You're doing it,
knew?
you're loving it.